And the last thing that I want to talk about is, I suppose the best thing for speaking fluency would actually be immersion, full immersion. If you're Spanish, or if you're Chinese, or if you're Japanese, or if you're Brazilian, and if you move to London or somewhere in the UK, or if you move to Dublin or somewhere in Ireland, or if you move to America, living in an English-speaking city or town, to me that would be the best method to use, because it's kind of like desperation, and then you would be desperate to communicate with people. You would be forced to only read in English, only listen in English, and only speaking English. And then what happens then is that you would probably start thinking in English as well. But then there is a very big, I hear this from students, and it's a fact that there are two types of people who move to English-speaking cities, and the one type would be the Spanish speaker or Portuguese speaker or Japanese speaker that wants to develop their English fluency. So they go there, everything is in English. They read, listen, watch, speak, think in English. Everything is in English. But then there are other students who, if it's Brazilian and Portuguese speaking, if they move to the UK, maybe they create a little bubble of Brazilian friends around them, or they create a little Brazilian world around themselves in the English-speaking country. So maybe they're living in the UK or Ireland, and they still watch Brazilian news, they still read Brazilian newspapers online, or they still watch Brazilian TV shows, and then with their friends they're speaking Brazilian. So that's one thing. It's easy to recommend that people don't do that, but I think it's quite difficult, because for a lot of students it might feel like they're abandoning their culture or their identity in a way. Like I had this feeling when I moved to Spain. When I moved to Spain, it felt difficult, like totally just doing everything in Spanish. I felt like I was kind of losing my Irishness, my culture's identity. So it's easy for me to talk about this. Like, it's very difficult to do, but I definitely recommend trying not to create a bubble around you in your first language. If you move to an English speaking country, try and fully just let go and just read everything in English. Watch, listen to everything in English, create those deep connections with vocabulary, and try and speak with everyone in English. Try and make English speaking friends, and try and start thinking in English too, because that is the complete method. To me, that's the best method that there is. So now, what you can do is, if you're Spanish or Japanese or Brazilian, whatever it is. Now, if you're living in your country, if you're Spanish and you're living in Spain, this is kind of the opposite situation. You can create a little English world around you, and try and create that little bubble of English around you, where, for a certain percentage of your life, you only read in English, listen to English, watch English, try and speak in English, online or on italki, make English friends, and then try and speak in English too. So basically that's all I have to say about speaking fluency. Speaking fluency is like this magical thing. It's kind of very difficult to crack for students, but I hope some of those methods sink in. I hope you really realize that some of those methods do help, because I have had some students come back to me, like I would recommend these methods to some students, and then they would come back to me and say, yeah, like the method really worked, if they really focus on them correctly. So that's all I have to say about speaking fluency. The biggest thing is kind of like get on the bike, actually try and ride the bicycle, okay?